Aloha everybody, welcome back to another GoGo Rental Discover. I'm down here hiding from the wind, but today we are hiking the Aiea Loop Trail. Check this out. So when you go to the state's website, they have this very handy PDF that you can download. The road you're gonna be driving in on is Aiea Heights Drive, and it goes all the way up to the park, and the park is where the trailhead is. So you're gonna enter the park off the main road from here. The trailhead is gonna be up here, and the trail is gonna loop around and then come back out down here by these campsites. So I went ahead and decided to park here because I want to be close to the exit. That way I don't have to hike after I'm done with my hike. So first thing we're gonna do is take off from this parking lot here and go up to the trailhead. Right now we are at the upper parking lot. The trailhead is just right over here, and there's parking kind of all the way around this point. The parking lots here are gonna tend to fill up around 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you want guaranteed choice of your favorite parking spot, you wanna come before that. The park opens at 7, so the earlier you can get here, the better. In the center of all this parking, they have like a picnic table thing set up. They've got some trash cans, they've got restrooms around here. Enough about that, let's go get started. The gates that you drive through to get in here from the main road will close daily at 7 p.m. One of the things they recommend here is not to start the trail before 4:30. This is a 4.8 mile trail, and it's supposed to be about 2 or 3 hours to complete. So if you get started too late in the day, there's a chance that you'll get locked in. And if you read up on this place online, you'll find out that this actually happens to quite a few people. For those of you who are not hikers, the trail here is actually fairly flat for a Hawaii trail. Elevation gain on this trail is less than 1,000 feet. And yeah, so far this trail, pretty flat. Right around the corner back there, you'll find one of the lookouts that has a bench on it. This one looks off to the left-hand side of the trail, which is neat because that valley at this point in the trail has nothing in it. So you get a nice clean view of the island without a whole lot of man-made structure to it. I've been on this trail for pretty much exactly an hour now. All this wind in the trees above me. So we just connected from this ridge on the other side of those trees around the path here. And I'm pretty sure that this ridge is the one that drops over into the H3. It is very windy. This is definitely the ridgeline. That's the H3 over there. In my opinion, even though it's just a freeway, this is probably the coolest thing that there is to see up here. I drive this freeway pretty much every day and I get to see these mountains, but I pretty much never get to see the freeway from these mountains. So for me, this is really cool. It's very windy, so I'm gonna do this quick between gusts, but we've made it up the trail to this little point, and back over there, you can see all the way down to the airport. Here, we're kind of sort of around halfway. We've been doing this for about an hour and a half now, going really slow. Started out the next ridge over on the other side of the valley, cross over to this ridge. Now we're basically walking above the H3. And from here, it's still a pretty straightforward trail. You just kind of keep walking all the way back until you get to where you came from. This definitely is one of the flatter trails on the island, and if you like hiking but you don't like doing hills, I definitely recommend coming out to do this one. We've been out here for about 2 hours now. If you weren't stopping to film and stuff, it'd probably be a little bit faster, but I can see my car from here. We're not exactly done yet. We still gotta kind of go down the trail and then loop back up to the parking lot. These little guys right here are Norfolk pines. These are sometimes referred to as Hawaiian Christmas trees because they grow really well out here. These tend to be the dominant species that you find at Christmas tree farms here in Hawaii. These ones are neat because they don't shed as much. And if you're gonna harvest them for a Christmas tree, you don't need to cut down the whole tree. You basically just cut down the section that you want, and then a new tree will grow up from it. But of course, if you don't prune them regularly like that, they grow up to be really tall. So environmentally wise, they're a little bit more sustainable. We do grow some of the more traditional Christmas trees in smaller numbers, but for the most part, those get shipped in from somewhere else. This looks like a riverbed that maybe runs through the center of a valley. So I have a feeling that from here, it's back uphill until you get to the parking lot, which I'm assuming is somewhere around the top of that cliff up there. Yeah, so right now the trail is definitely more uphill than it has been this entire time. All right, everybody, we are back at the trailhead that leads to the campsite. So yes, if you start at the upper trailhead, your hike is gonna be mostly flat all the way to the H3. And then from there, it's gonna be slightly downhill all the way until you get down into this little valley right here. And then this last section down here is gonna be the steepest. The trail is a little bit narrow. There's some switchbacks that will take you up to here. And then from here, it's back to the parking lot. That's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one.